Hi YouTube, hi everybody. My name is Babatunde and I'm a photographer and a cinematographer based in Owerri, Nigeria. And today I want to show you how I color grade my videos, and let's roll the intro. So welcome back guys, it's Tunde Studio here. I actually shot a project for Better Life Properties and I sort of love the colors I ended up with on that project. So I thought, why don't I just make this my first video on YouTube and teaching you guys how I got from going from what I got on my camera to what I actually delivered to the client. I've been a person that has been so fascinated with colors right from time. So and with that kind of enthusiasm, I've actually had a lot of challenges going from where I was back then to where I am now. So I want to show you how I get my colors right and the step-by-step workflow of how I got to where I am. So without further ado, let's head over to my system to show you how I got it. Yeah, okay, welcome here guys. So basically the video I was telling you about is this video right here. Let me just play it for a second so you can watch.
My people beg wait before you scroll up. Make I show you real better mental thing where they shell for inside Imo State. As I day here, so I dey for Better Life Blossom layout. Oh yes, now where we say they give you land, where we say is senge menge. Land when they do poto poto. Land when they do mete mete. Now land where we say once you buy your body goes senge menge. Make I show you people where we say they don't buy the land and their body they totori them. Check them out.
Yeah, that's enough, because I would only be focusing on that first speaker's grading, so you won't be able to watch the entire video because this is not this is not sponsored by Better Life Properties. But then, so this is the clip the full clip I edited, but I will be focusing on just the grade of this guy, and I just picked from my raw files that particular clip. This is the clips. This is the original clip from my camera. I shot this video on Nikon 7100 with a 50mm lens. So basically what you're going to do first is this was shot on something that looks like a flat image. So we try to get to correct the image first. After correcting this image, then we'll head over to the grading, because this is some of the colors are looking faded, but it comes with a very high tonal range. You can see the shadows very clearly and you can see the highlights. They are retaining a lot of details in both the shadow areas and the highlight areas. Now, so what do we do first? In my own situation, I went to the lumetri panel. So to get the lumetri panel, you can always click on the effects or the color tab here. So since I'm just going to be doing the color tab, let's focus on the lumetri panel. Now this lumetri panel is somewhat very similar to the panels on the Lightroom, so it's very easy to go through. So up top here is the basic color correction, basic correction aspect of the panel, where you have the white balance, the exposure, the contrast, the highlights, the shadows, the whites and the blacks, then the saturation. Now here is very basic stuff. You can see that we need to punch up the colors a little bit, and it needs saturation. It will be a little bit of saturation. It just needs to go from here to another level. Very obvious. So the first thing I do is I go down to the color wheel match. Now this color wheel match has a slider that controls the shadows. You turn it and you see what's happening there. If you turn this down, the shadows get darker. If you turn this up, the mid tones get darker or brighter. considering where you are turning it. While if you turn this, it controls the highlights. If you can notice the white area. So this is where I start my color corrections from. So I feel like I should darken the shadows a bit to give it a very nice contrast. While the highlight, I think I'm okay with my highlights. If there's anything I need to do to the highlight, I'll need to bring it down a bit. I think I'm okay with that. While the midtones, which is the skin area, I think let me just bring it up a bit and bring down the shadows a bit more. Okay, I think I'm okay with this. So this is like a non-destructive way of adding contrast to my image. So after this, I go to my basic correction, where I add a little bit of I reduce the whites a bit. No, let me leave that white. I put in some blacks to put in a little bit more contrast, while I add a bit of I reduce the highlight a bit. So then the shadows, let me open it up to compensate for the blacks I added in the first place. And one thing that will give this a very drastic change is the saturation. So I normally leave my saturation at about 130. 130 is a very good number, or 131 or thereabout. From what we have here, if I click at before and after, you see that we've gotten really far, but we're not done yet. So the next thing I would normally do is go to my curves. This is the curve. Yeah. So I punch in a little bit of contrast to further give me that punchy look I'm trying to go for. Then maybe put a little bit of contrast up here. I don't like where my shadow is going to, so I open shadows a little bit, because I love to have a lot of details in my image. So I'm pushing the contrast a bit. I think about here is fine. So I think as at now I'm okay with my color correction. No serious, not so serious, just very basic stuff. Then the next thing I do is I go towards the curves again. Now under the curves we have the hue saturation curve. We have the hue versus hue. We have the hue versus luma. We have the luma versus saturation. The saturation versus saturation. Now I don't necessarily have any business with this luma versus saturation and saturation versus saturation. Where I do have business with is this top three curves here: the hue versus saturation, the hue versus hue, and the hue versus luma. Now what each of this slider does is that this hue versus saturation, it focuses on each color, on the saturation of each color. Hue means color, while saturation is the strength of the color. So let's say, for example, I pick this color picker tool and I want to increase the strength of this yellow here. I pick the yellow, then it indicates the range of that yellow on this slider here. Then I pick the middle one and I increase it. Watch what happens to my yellow in the image. I know I'm increasing it a little bit more, but I wanted you to see the impact of that hue. So this is basically for me to increase individual colors. Now with that being said, so I'm just going to like touch up each colors I would want to touch up. So okay, I think I'm okay with that yellow. Let me touch this blue on the shirt, and here we have it. I think around here is okay. Now let me touch this red a bit, although I'm okay with it, but let me just touch it a bit. And one thing about this thing is you don't do too much, less, because there is such a fine line between doing something awesome with your color grading and doing a total mess. And it's very, very appealing to the eyes when you do light color grade. Very appealing. So let's move on. At this point, I can safely say that I am done with my basic color correction. Everything color correction, the colors are popping. This is where we started from, and this is where we are right now. So another person might just render this out and you're good, but if you want your pictures to be standing out, you need to color grade. So this is where we proceed to the color grading part, which is where we need to include the hue and hue versus hue slider. Now this hue versus hue slider is where you get to change your colors to where you want it to be. Now, like we did at the hue versus saturation, we pick the yellow color because I'm trying to go for the orange and teal look. If you check the reference image that we had, I'm trying to go for the orange and teal look. So I've picked the orange. Now if I pick this, you'll see that it gives me a lot of options for the colors I can pick. So if I scroll down, you will see that the yellow is changing colors according to what point I place this node, if you understand what I just said. So I'm actually going for orange until where my yellows will tend towards the teal. They will tend towards the orange color, while the blues will tend towards the teal. So I'm basically going to just be changing the yellow colors and the orange and the blue. Now I think the orange is somewhere up here. That is too much. Just a bit. It's fine. I think I should increase the range so it can cover a lot of yellow colors. I think I'm okay at this point. I think there is this part of the yellow that is not included. So let me pick this part. So I have more points now. And as you can see, the yellow is now becoming, the orange is now becoming uniform. Okay, trying to be careful not to add too much of it. Too much. know this is not a perfect job, but if you get the idea, for the sake of this tutorial, I would love to move forward. Then I'll pick the blue color so I can change it to teal. So teal is somewhere around the upper part of the slider. So here, I think I'm okay here. Okay, now that's for the orange and teal. While the next thing I do in this case is I go straight to the HSL, where I try to touch up on the skin. Now for this skin, I try to create another instance of lumetri color, so to be able to separate what I have already on ground, so I can be able to change it if I need to in future. So let's add lumetri color, and let me rename it so I don't get confused. I rename this as a skin grade. You might have another way you do your own color grading, but this is what works for me. And the initial one, I'll rename it as a base color. Okay, so let me pick my skin grade and I work on that. So on that skin grade, here's what I do. There is this key section. You can actually pick the skin color, and down here you can refine the selection, and down here you can correct it to whatever color you want. So that was what brought about that orangey skin tone you were seeing in the initial video. So let's pick the skin color. So pick here. There is a way to know that you are picking the correct colors. So if you click on this color/gray, it paints everywhere gray, so you can be able to know what you're picking from what you're not picking. So I've picked a very unique color from the skin, and if you can see around there, this is the skin. This is the skin, but I need more sample. I need more skin sample so I can be able to get the entire skin tone. Now to get more skin samples, I will need to click on this plus sign, this second eyedropper tool. So I'll click around here, pick it again, click around here. Can you see it? I'm getting more skin samples. Now I think I still need more. Somewhere here. I think that's about all the skin I need. Yes, all that is left right now is to just refine the selection. Okay, yes, refine the selection. So how do I refine it? I need to denoise it so it doesn't give me jagged edges, and where here I need to blur it out so it will give me a seamless transition from where I graded and where I didn't grade. So with that, okay. Okay, I think that's a very good one. Now I still won't remove the color grace because I want to see what my skin is doing. So here, I can increase the brightness of this skin or reduce the brightness. As you can see what is happening here. So, but first of all, I would push in my desired color, and my desired skin tone is somewhere around this, between the yellow and the reds. So let's push it a little bit upwards. Okay, I think that is looking more like it. Let me click off this so we can see what we're doing. Okay, this is more like it. This is more like it. Okay, yes, somewhere around here is cool by me. And if I wanted to add some brightness to the skin, I just increase this, and the skin looks so bright. And if it's too white, don't bother about it. I can correct it down here. This then adds some very awesome features. So I can add contrast from here to give it a very punchy look. And right about now, honestly, I'm okay. Let me reduce this a bit. Okay, I think I'm okay with this. Let's see where we are. This was what our skin was looking like before. This is where we are now. This is where we are now. Major step forward, guys. Major step forward. So I still feel I need to reduce it a bit. And at this point, I think I'm done. So let's check. Let's check what we have before and after. So this is the skin grade. This is the basic grade, the basic color correction. If I take it off and I take off the skin grade, this was where we started from. Now with the basic color correction, if I on the basic color correction, this is what we have. And if I on the skin grade, this is what we have. So all together, this would apply all through the video. As you can see, guys, this is looking very awesome. And with this method I just gave you, you can modify it any way you like, because this is a commercial. So I didn't change my highlights and I didn't change my shadow colors. And compared to the original file, this is very close. Although this looks a little bit more because I added more features, but that was just the basic idea. I think I added a little bit of faded tint look here, but I'm loving this one. I am loving this one so very much. I think I added some faded looks here, and I think that one was a little bit more punchy. The contrast was a little bit more punchy than that. And, let me go to the curves. Bring it out a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That is it. So thank you very much, guys. Yeah, looking so nice. Looking so nice. At least with this technique I just gave you, you should be able to get a lot of variations in your colors, because it is basically dependent on your own creative process. You don't necessarily have to follow my way. note for note, number for number, but you get the idea. Thank you very much. Alright guys, that's it for today's episode. If you like what you just watched, hit the like button. If you don't like it, don't hit any button. And if you have other ways of getting your color grade done, I want to hear your comments in the comment section below. And to encourage me to get you more juicy content like this one, I would love you to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon so you can get you'll be the first person to be prompted on each and every video I bring to you. So until next time, thank you very much. It's Tunde Studio here. Peace. So click the like button if that okay, sure.